Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hey, I'm Patricia, and today's video is gonna be 10 things I wish I knew before collecting manga. So I know I have a lot of subscribers that are anime and manga fans, so I kind of wanted to do a video dedicated to y'all. So I did a manga tour in 2023 and I had about 180 volumes in my collection, but recently I sold all my volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. So I think the amount went down about 40-ish. I don't know, I'm gonna count. I'll figure it out. I'll put the number of how many volumes I have in my collection currently, but still I feel like with 140 I've been around the block. Okay, I learned a few things along the way and I wanted to share it with y'all. So yeah, let's get started. Tip number one would be try to figure out what you want your collection to be over time, because it could be nice to, you know, think in the moment and just collect whatever, but later down the line are you gonna at one point think, oh, this is such a waste of money, I shouldn't have collected this series, or oh, I should have probably prioritized this series instead of that one. Like, set a goal for yourself. Figure out what you personally want your collection to be, because it is going to be something that you are growing over time, and you want to have something in mind on how you want it to grow and evolve over the years. Personally, when I started collecting manga, I think I did it the wrong way. I kind of wish I didn't do it the way I did. There's no wrong or right way to collect stuff, but when I first started, I think Books A Million was having like a sale, buy one get one. So I decided to get like 4 different manga series. So I got like Naruto, Watakoi, and then 2 other manga series that I don't remember. But yeah, I got volume 1 of 4 different series, and I feel like that kind of halted me a little bit. Instead of starting collecting 4 different series, I wish I just started on 1 and prioritized that kind of, and then evolved over to other series. Because I feel like once I had 4 different volume 1s, I was thinking to myself, okay, now I have to continue buying them for each series, and that's a lot of money. So yeah, I obviously didn't have a goal in mind. I was going off vibes. So what I'm trying to say is I wish I had a goal for what I wanted my collection to be. I got Naruto for nostalgia purposes, and then the other ones, I think they were like shoujo. So I'm glad I went that route, because I know for sure I'm a shoujo gal. I have various shoujo and romance genres in my collection, but the Naruto, I still currently just have that volume 1. I've never continued collecting it just because it was such a big task, because there's so many volumes and I know I wasn't gonna read it. Definitely try to envision what you want your setup to be. Think about the certain genres that you want to collect. And yeah, I think that's a good start. So tip number 2, which kind of plays into tip number 1, would be to start slow. I definitely recommend start slow, because when I started collecting manga, y'all, I went crazy. Like, I'm gonna put some of my TikToks back in the day. I was buying 15 to 20 volumes a month. And granted that I was going through something personally, so I think I was using manga purchasing as like an outlet, but definitely don't recommend buying that much in such a short time period. You know, start slow, take your time, figure out what you want in your collection, because mangas are expensive and it is what it is, you know. So I feel like it'd just be better to take your time, not spend so much in such a short time span. And also a reminder, the manga's always gonna be there, besties. Like, what is the rush to collect the entire series? You know, take your time, purchase it whenever you have the money. Don't go broke trying to buy manga. But yeah, I definitely feel like I learned my lesson with taking my time, because I obviously didn't in the beginning. And once I realized I was using manga to cope with what was going on in my life at the time, I was like, oh, this is unhealthy. Let's take a step back. And I definitely analyzed everything and was like, yeah, let's slow down. I won't be buying manga for a couple months. And that's exactly what happened. And now occasionally I buy it once in a while, but definitely behind on some of the newer volumes that came out, but it's alright because they're always gonna be there. So tip number 3 would to make sure to jot down what mangas you have. So me personally, I have a list in my notes app where I list out all the series that I have and also volumes. As a person with a memory of a pea, I feel like having a list definitely helps me remember what I have exactly in my collection. Because I remember one time I went to LA, and y'all know LA has that amazing Kinokuniya. That was my first time going to Kinokuniya, and I was going crazy. I was like, oh, I need to get this. And then I was like, wait, do I have this in my collection? So I went to my handy dandy notes app, and lo and behold, I already had it in my collection. So I'm glad I didn't waste money on that. I feel like just play it safe, have that list in your notes app, or however you want to track it down, just to not waste money or time. It's just better to have like a list and just track exactly what you have in your collection. Tip 4 would be to think about buying box sets instead of buying volumes individually, because majority of the time box sets could be just a little bit cheaper. You know, they have sales occasionally on them, and you get all the volumes in one go. Like when I started collecting manga, I saw that my local bookstore had Death Note Volume 1, and I was like, oh yeah, I like Death Note, let me get that. So I did. And then I didn't realize how hard it was to find individual Death Note volumes, but it's really hard. So like occasionally I would go to the bookstore and then I would see volume 2 and 3, which I ended up getting. But after that, I have never seen volumes 4 to whatever. I don't know how many volumes are in Death Note. For the past year or so, I've just had Death Note volumes 1 through 3 in my collection. And that's it. And I don't think I'll find them individually at my local bookstore. Instead of being stuck with 3 individual volumes, I really should have just got Death Note's box set, and I wouldn't have to deal with trying to find the remaining volumes. So yeah, sometimes box sets are better than buying individual. And I know it's a lot of money up front because, you know, a volume is just like $7 to like $12 or something, and a box set is like $60 to like $100. You can get the whole series in one go, you know? And tip number 5 would be to resell if needed. At first, when I was collecting, I had the mindset that, oh my God, I would never resell my manga. Like once it's in my collection, it's mine. But I feel like sooner or later down the line, you'll probably look at your collection and start to think like, dang, am I really gonna read this? Or, oh, is this series just collecting dust? Which some series were most definitely collecting dust on my shelf. Specifically speaking, Demon Slayer and also Jujutsu Kaisen, I sold those to another manga fan. So I am happy that they got a good home, because at the end of the day, like I was not gonna reread them, and if I wanted to, I could do it online. So definitely don't be afraid to resell your stuff, besties. As with reselling comes more space for you to buy new manga, if you think about it like that. So on the topic of Jujutsu Kaisen, I know how fun it is to watch/read about your favorite characters, but what about bringing that a step further and talking to your favorite characters? And that's what we're about to get into with today's sponsor, Characterai. Characterai is an AI-powered chat box service with millions of lifelike characters created by users all around the world. With their character calls feature, you can basically bring any character or scene to life, and you can chat to your favorite characters with unlimited messages and no ads, which I'm about to show you with Gojo Satoru. Hi Gojo.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, you know, like, can I ask you a question real quick? What is your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? I like monkeys.
What did he say?
Okay, I was not expecting a monkey. My favorite animal, cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs? Huh, I thought you were gonna say bunny or something.
Speaking of bunnies, I used to have a bunny as a kid, and my dad told me to put it outside so it can go poop and pee, and it ran away.
Seriously? Your bunny run away as soon as you put it outside? That's hilarious.
Lesson learned, don't put your bunny out. So Kuna, I had a question. What is your favorite animal?
Of all questions, you want to ask me about my favorite animal? Why would you want to know such trivial information about me?
Okay, I sense the hostility, and again, I'm going to say you need a therapist, sir. I'm just about to log out. Goodbye. Y'all, I was just chatting to some of my favorite anime characters. Mad fun. I enjoyed myself way more than I expected. And if you guys thought that was fun, I highly recommend checking it out yourself. And make sure to check out my custom link down below in the description. And again, thanks so much for sponsoring this video, Characterai. Right, and now we're back to the video. The 6th tip that I had would be to figure out where to buy manga. Because there's various different places you can buy manga. You can buy it from stores like Books A Million, Barnes & Nobles, but the series and volumes that they have there could be slim because you don't know what they have in stock that day, when they're getting the next shipment, if someone got the series before you, etc. Or you can buy it from secondhand stores. You can get it from websites. I know Right Stuff was pretty big, but I think Crunchyroll acquired it. Please quote me if I'm wrong. But yeah, various different places you can get your manga. It really just depends on you. Me personally, I like getting my manga in person because I like the satisfaction of finding the series that you have like been looking for forever and seeing it there. And then kind of playing on to tip 6 that I just gave. Tip 7 would be to actually look at the condition of the volume before you purchase it. I learned this the hard way. In the beginning, I was not as attentive, so I was just grabbing whatever volume I see and then brought it to the counter and purchased. When I really should have been like looking at the volumes that they had and seeing which one was in the best condition, because you know, people are always picking up the books, reading it there. You know, some people may be gentle with the books, but others could be careless. And sometimes it's not even the customers that damaging the books, it's the printers, the people that made the book itself, because some of the volumes don't come perfect. They don't all come in the same size, shape. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. Some spines aren't centered. They're more like on the left or right. So yeah, I learned that the hard way, especially with my Watakoi series. If you're someone like me that likes to go in person to buy their manga, definitely check out which volume has the best condition. It only takes a little bit of time, you know, like pick it up, check if the pages are turning yellow, check if there's any dents, scuffs, if everything aligns well, and if it's good to go, you know, get your book. And tip 8 would be to make sure you have space for all the manga that you're collecting. At my old setup before I moved, I had a Billy bookshelf where I showcased all my manga. I'm gonna show an image right here, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. And as you guys can tell, my setup is obviously different. For y'all that are new here, I recently moved. I did not bring the bookshelf. I left it at my old spot. So currently I do not have a spot to shelve like half of my manga. So just make sure you have space. I'm using this metal shelf right now, and I have 2 rows of manga at the bottom. I'm using this shelf above my desk setup that I have a couple mangas, and then I'm showcasing on my desk setup. And the ones that I have showcased are like the cutesy ones that I like Apothecary Diaries, Watakoi, Sign of Affection, Witch Hat Atelier, etc. And all my other manga that's in my closet, which I'll show you guys, that's like the entire Hunter x Hunter series, Chainsaw Man, House Paradise, Death Note, etc. I just don't have space for it. Maybe I'll get another bookshelf or size down. I don't know. For right now, they're literally, it looks so sad. They're just chilling in the closet. So like I was saying, just make sure you have space for the manga that you have in your collection. And tip number 9 would be to just read a couple of the chapters of the series that you're planning on collecting and seeing if you like it ahead of time. Because when I first started getting into manga, I was on Manga Talk. Everybody was talking about Goodnight Pun Pun and how it was such a good story. And I blind bought it, and I have all the volumes just because how pretty the spines are. But after I collected all of it, that's when I started reading it. And the first volume, and let me just say this straight up, Goodnight Pun Pun is not for the weak. You know, it's trigger warning, depression, essay, etc. I didn't even get that far. I told my friend that I only finished like the 2nd volume, and they was like, that's not even the worst part. I'm like, it gets worse? It gets worse? Like, I'm like, I couldn't. Yeah, so ever since then, since I put down volume 2, I have not continued reading it. Honestly, that may be my next set that I put up on Facebook Marketplace to sell, because I don't read it, and I don't think I will. Just some advice there, you know, don't blind buy. Figure out if you like it first. And for tip 10, the last and final tip that I have, it would be figure out how to maintain your book's condition. I know people say like, don't put it in direct sunlight because the pages can yellow easily. Don't keep your book in an area that has a lot of moisture. Don't have a humidifier by it. Make sure to dust it off. Yeah, those are the only maintenance that I know about books. But if I'm missing something, please feel free to drop it down below. Make sure you're handling the books with care. You know, you don't want to accidentally tear a page, bend the cover, etc. I feel like everybody knows that. And an extra tip would just be to have fun overall, because you are building your manga collection, and it's just a fun and cool feeling that you're like picking and choosing what you want in your collection. And definitely don't let like what people say get to you, because I know a lot of people in the anime/manga community have like strong opinions on which manga you purchase. Because I remember I had Demon Slayer in my collection, and it was like, someone commented, "Ugh, I can't imagine having Mid Slayer in my collection." And I'm just like, you saying this unprovoked? The negative energy, let's put it over there. Let's not bring it over here, okay? Sometimes when you post your collection online, you're gonna have good comments, you're gonna have bad comments, and yeah, just don't let it get to you, because at the end of the day, you're curating your dream collection slowly but surely, and you know you best, you know what you like. And yeah, it doesn't matter what other people think or say about the series you decide to collect, because at the end of the day, if it's making you happy, that's all that matters. And those are all the tips that I have for those who are beginning to collect manga. I hope it was helpful in some way. And of course, if you guys have any more tips, please feel free to drop them down below in the comments. And yeah, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in next week's video. Bye.